Picture this. You're coming home from a long day at work and all you have on your mind is to take it easy and have a really relaxed evening. So what do? You open up your laptop and start watching some random videos at 8 p.m. Sounds pretty normal until now, right? But guess what happens? Fast forward 6 hours and you catch yourself how you're watching a video where Stephen Hawking explains to you how black holes are made up of. Well, I don't know if that sounds familiar to you guys, but for me, it sure does. What I try to exemplify here is that habits are automated behaviors which sometimes manifest themselves in a subconscious way you don't even recognize them. With that being said, there are good habits and there are bad habits. It's really up to us to decide which ones we want to keep and which ones we want to reject. In this video, I'm going to show you the 10 habits that had the most positive impact on my life and which you can easily use and implement into your life as well. Coming up. Habit number 1 is exercising once, twice, or 3 times a week. And for me, it's the number 1 habit because I think it's so crucial to exercise from time to time. It not only has a lot of physical health benefits, it's good for your blood pressure and it's good for your overall system, but it's also so good for your brain and just to have some peace of mind. When I think back at the times where I was really foggy in my mind and I was really lethargic and felt useless, it often had to do with the fact that I didn't work out on a regular basis. But once I started working out, the thing I noticed was I felt way better. The only problem with working out is we all know it. Sometimes you're just not in the mood. You would rather do anything else on the world than working out in that specific moment. The thing I found out which really helps to prevent this from happening is just to get started. Put on your shoes, go to the spot where you usually work out, or just go to the gym. Even if you say to yourself, I won't work out today, I'm just gonna go to the gym. But once you're there, there's a process that starts in your mind and all of a sudden you get into that momentum and you start working out a little, and then all of a sudden you do a full routine and feel great afterwards. The second habit I want to talk about is meditation, and although you can use meditation as an excuse to do a nap here and there sometimes, I do strongly believe that meditation is really a game changer, and this can be mainly derived from the 3 following points. So firstly, I believe that meditation helps you to calm your mind, especially if you're in states of high stress where you have a lot of stuff going on your mind. Let's say you're in the middle of an exam period or the crush you're in love with is not texting you back, then meditation is really helpful because it helps you to reduce all of that noise that is created in your mind and just really brings you down to a more relaxed level. The second benefit of meditation, in my opinion, is that it strongly increases your self-awareness. So based on the fact that you try to zone out all your thoughts and you open up your senses for your surrounding, you really become aware of the fact that you are just a small, tiny piece and that it's not all about you. The third benefit, in my opinion, is that meditation increases your gratitude for life. And this mainly boils down to the fact that when you zone out your thoughts and you become aware that the world is actually providing everything you need for you and that the crazy new iPhone or the pair of AirPods is not that important, then you really become more grateful and thankful for what you already have. And a great way for you to get started is essentially by setting your timer on 10 minutes and then just closing your eyes, try to zone out all your thoughts and just focus on this deep inhaling and exhaling voice. And this is actually the first step to get into the realm of meditation. So the third habit, which has the most positive impact on my life, is connecting with nature on a daily basis. And I know for a lot of you people this might sound like a no-brainer, but if you're working indoors or have an office job, you can maybe relate to the following scenario. I worked in an office environment and a lot of my days essentially looked like this. I woke up in the morning in my apartment, grabbed something to eat, then I jumped into the subway and was in my office 10 hours. And after that, I just went back home again. And what I totally forgot during this time was just to be in nature from time to time and enjoy being outdoors. And I think the fact that we forget to connect with nature is really bad for us because on the one hand side, there are a lot of health benefits just related to being outdoors. You have the sunlight, you have all of these microbacteria and small particles floating around in the air, which is also really good for your immune system. And also a bonus tip here from my side is to combine these habits. So you could, for instance, work outdoors or meditate outdoors outdoors, and this really boosts the experience even more in my opinion. So habit number 4 is having a fixed sleeping schedule, and I think this is so important because there's nothing as detrimental for you guys as having an unfixed sleeping schedule, unless maybe being a white walker or something like that, because if you wake up on one day at 9 a.m., on the other day you wake up at 12 a.m. and you mix it all through each other, it's really bad for your body because there's something called the circadian rhythm, and the circadian rhythm is really responsible for a lot of biochemical things triggered in your body, and you should really try to keep that at a steady pace and steady rhythm. Alright guys, so habit number 5 is finishing your showers ice cold every time you shower. And this is something I've been swearing by since 1 or 2 years, and I think it has such a strong impact on the way how I go through the day and how I feel after waking up. So just to clarify this, I'm not one of these crazy people who jump under the shower and do nothing but cold water. I think that kind of defeats the purpose. Good habits should help you in reaching your goals and should help you in staying focused on the things that matter to you. They shouldn't punish you or make your day horrible, right? So what I do is I shower quite normally like everybody else, and then at the end of each shower I turn off the hot water and increase the cold water flow and really try to stay calm for 20 or 30 seconds, and it just boosts you into the day because your blood circulation really gets accelerated. And apart from that, there's also something really powerful, I think, which takes place in your mind, and that is that you have convinced yourself to turn off the hot water, to increase the cold water, and it's kind of a sense of accomplishment you already have at one of the first moments in the day. If you're like showering the first thing when you get up, I would strongly advise you guys to try it out at least for a while and see how it impacts your life. Habit number 6 is to read daily, because we all know readers are leaders. But no, seriously, I think reading is so impactful and can totally help you to become a continuous learner, because mainly reading helps you to improve your critical thinking. Because essentially what you're doing when you're reading is you're synthesizing the information of somebody else and thereby also kind of understanding how that person is reasoning and how that person came up with the structure of the book, for example. Secondly, it will really help you to see the world from different perspectives, because books have this power to show you the world from different angles, to dissect certain topics in a different way than you might have seen it before, and I think this is really powerful. And lastly, I truly believe that reading also helps you to verbalize your own thoughts, because the way how topics are explained to you kind of also ends up in the way how you explain topics, so it's super powerful. Number 7 of the habits that had the most positive impact on my life was to reduce the usage of social media. Just to get this out of the way, I think social media is great. It's an amazing tool to connect with people all around the world, and also I think social media helps to make this place, aka planet Earth, to a more collaborative and a more empathetic place. However, too much ain't really good for you. So first of all, I think social media is strongly distracting. It really reduces your attention span. If you're online all the time, then you just end up having the attention span of a goldfish. Secondly, I think it strongly fosters your insecurities, because on social media everybody's having this oh so wonderful life and having these oh so beautiful friends, but at the end of the day it's all fugazi and you will still feel like trash. And thirdly, I think it's highly addicting, because the instinctual part of your brain we've talked about previously is really addicted to these dopamine rushes it gets from social media. And I personally have to say I'm highly susceptible to this, because I have a YouTube channel and I have some Instagram going on. However, it really is in your control, and you have to implement some measures to avoid yourself from becoming that addicted to it. Alright guys, so habit number 8 is to set yourself daily goals. I will be so bold and say that you will have a hard time achieving anything if you don't focus your energy on that thing. And setting daily goals really helps you to gain that clarity and gain that focus. And now coming to the important stuff, they should be actionable and attainable. So it's really great if you have a vision or you have a clearer picture how your life should pan out ideally at some point in time. And that's a great thing to have. But what you have to do is you have to break down that vision into attainable goals. And how you do it is you take this high level goal and say, okay, let's assume that I would make it there. What do I have to make happen in the next 5 years to get there? Once you have defined the next 5 years, you define the next 12 months, months. And once you've defined the next 12 months, you maybe can define the next quarter. And from that point on, you can then break it down even further and set yourself weekly and daily goals. And this will really help you to reach that high-level goal at some point in time, because essentially it's the same thing with habits. You just accumulate the small actions over time and then make sure to hone in the big lofty goal. So habit number 9 is to track your progress. And just to get things straight, I'm not a numbers guy. But I think for this habit, 4th grade math should definitely suffice. So the key here is really, next to verbalizing your thoughts, you should also quantify them to some degree, because as Peter Drucker said, what gets measured really gets done, all right? So let's say you want to learn the guitar and your high-level goal is, I want to become a proficient guitar player, and your 12-month goal would be, I would like to learn these 5 songs. Then you know, if you want to learn these 5 songs, you at least have to learn 1 song every 2 months. And by knowing that, you can then break it down even more and say, in order to learn 1 song every 2 months, I have to practice twice a week. And all you can do then is just to tick off the boxes in your calendar. And if you see that you're not performing on this 1 week because you've only practiced once or you haven't practiced at all, then you know, I have to step up the game a little bit to reach that goal I want to achieve. Alright, so the final habit that had the most positive impact on my life is to do the hardest thing first in the morning. As Mark Twain once said, if your job is to eat a frog, make sure to eat the frog first thing in the morning. And I sincerely hope you will never have to eat a frog, unless of course you want to eat a frog. But the point here being is that your willpower just depletes over the course of the day. So even if you make sure that you get all the nutrition you need, get the rest that you need, your willpower will just deplete. And therefore it's essential to make sure to do the thing that pains you the most, or to do the thing where you know it will have the biggest impact but it affords the most effort, to shift it on the first thing to do in the morning. And this will really kickstart your effectivity and also make the rest of the day so much more enjoyable. So here you have it, people. 10 killer habits that can help you to take more control over your life and prevent you from drifting around. And as promised, the bonus tip from my side, it's super important that you answer to yourself why you are carrying out a certain habit. There is no sense in performing habits that you feel are a burden for yourself and that you are not enjoying. They should all cater towards this high-level goal of yours which you have set beforehand. And my advice here would be really to pick 1 or 2 habits you want to try out and really go for them for a while. And I'm not saying like a week or 2 days. Try them out for 30 days or for 90 days. And then based on your experience, evaluate if they really help you. So peeps, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if this brought you any value, please make sure to hit the like button or the subscribe button. It really helps me in making these videos. And apart from that, I hope you have a wonderful day and hope to see you next time. Peace.